Hello, friends. I just have a few reflections on this week, which I feel like I have lived on Zoom. Isn't that the story of the season? I spent 3 full days online with my doctoral cohort and spent a couple of days on a conference, or at least in and out of it, around chasing after my kids and a whole bunch of other conversations and connections in the midst. And it has me chewing on the idea of how can we create safer space to change and belong while we change our minds, how we grow, interact with our lives. And there was a number of things that sparked this. First of all, I loved at the end of almost at the end of a 3-year course, all my colleagues and I, we got to present on our research, and it was amazing how far we'd come since we first started discussing our ideas, and that over time we had learned and grown in our thinking and in our focus. And I was so thankful, and I'm struck with gratitude for how safe a place my cohort was to explore ideas and ask questions and say somewhat controversial things in order to think through them better, because we want to think well and get to the place where we can pastor out of it. And so this was this beautiful, safe place to do it at. And then this evolving faith conference that Sarah Bessey, brilliant Canadian Sarah Bessey, helps co-spearheads / dreamed up, was this reflection by so many people on their alienation and reconnection with faith. And it was beautiful, just so beautiful and inspiring. And I thought, why do people have to get broken and leave in that process? Why isn't the church the best place to work things out in a place of belonging? And it got me chewing again on this idea of how do we create invitational space where we can be vulnerable. And one of the ideas that came up in my Bible study this week, Tessa shared about the difference between when you're hurting and you're with people who you belong with, or in a group where you belong, how they help you grow in the midst of your hurting or your new ideas or the challenges that you're facing, where when it's outsiders or people who aren't committed to loving you and walking with you, that they want to change you or fix you. And I thought, well, that's such a beautiful difference, that ideally the church should be a place where people grow, not where they change. That something deep in how God created us might need to be refound or healed or brushed off, but that it's deep in who we were created to be that we're trying to get back to and grow out of. And that, yes, how we grow will vary depending on context and depending on affliction and what we face, but we will still grow out of that created place. And my friend Tammy Donahue, and her research about developmental research, explained that she thinks that people need to be placed in a greenhouse. And I thought those two images went well together, that if we could think of the church as a greenhouse where the warmth and love of God is centered, and where we find nourishment for our souls and watering, that we can grow. And yes, that on some levels our ideas might change, but they come out of that fundamental place that God has created in us. And so I'm just inviting you to consider, how does the church better become a place where we grow people? How can we better be a greenhouse? And tomorrow in church, we're talking about processing pain. And so I'm thinking that this is the image I really love when we think about processing pain, that we be a place where we grow out of it, grow around it, adapt to it, but still are allowed to be who we are, or welcome to be who we are where we are in that moment, and in that specific place of healing on a given day. Anyway, there's a few thoughts. Bless you all.